Ndị be anyị ekele m unu. Asị m ka nke echiri ya zero. Ya bụ Eastern News 24 ka anyị si na-ewetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasara maka ya bụ ife na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya ana nwere onwe ndị Igbo na-azọ. Dịka anyị na-ewetara unu ife anyị ji maka ya wee bịa na uhuruchi ụbọchị nke taa, anyị achọ ka ịtọ ntị n'ala wee nụ ife anyị ji maka ya wee bịa. Biafran tensions, federal government seek UN extradition of Maazị Simon Ekpa. Then what is next? Alright, anyị na-ekele ndị nne na ya bụ ife ije gị n'ugbu a anyị akabalụ na igere ya bụ ife ọfụma. Achọghị m ikwu much about it, so mana mma ọ ya amasị m na nwafọ Igbo nwa afọ Biafra ọbụla gere ya bụ ife a ọfụma ị ga-esi ya ike so that ka wee ife were ikwu. Maka mma achọ ka onye ọbụla kọmentị ya tụsakwa ya bụ ozi ka o rutekwa ụmụnne anyị ndị ọzọ aka ịghọta. Maka obi ife m ga-ekwu mana afta kunu gechara ya ka m mekwuzi ife nji maka ya wee bịa. All right, over to you.
The Voice of the People TV. I am your host, Jerry RPI. Welcome once again to the issues where we delve into the wide range of topics that impact our daily lives. Our team of seasoned analysts provides deep insights and comprehensive overviews of the matters that affect people the most. Join us as we explore the complex discussions that shape our society, equipping you with expert perspectives to navigate the path ahead. We start off the show today talking about the Director of Defense and Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, has said the federal government would respond appropriately through the European Union. He said this while reacting to a social media post by Samuel Ekpa announcing 2nd December 2024 as the date for the map presentation and official declaration of the Biafra Republic. Meanwhile, Biafra agitated leader of the Biafra government in exile, Simon Ekpa, has reacted to a move by the Nigerian government. Let's now delve into the heart of our discussion. We started off earlier by talking about the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, has said the federal government will respond appropriately through the European Union. He said this while reacting to a social media post by Simon Ekpa announcing 2nd December 2024 as the date for the map presentation and official declaration of the Biafra Republic. General Buba, when contacted, said while military operations against the indigenous people of Biafra and Eastern Security Network (ESN) IPOB will be sustained, the federal government will deploy diplomatic channels to get the leader, Simon Ekpa, from Finland. Simon Ekpa, the leader of the Biafra government in exile, announced that the government will unveil the map of the 40 United States of Biafra and issue a declaration on December 2nd, 2024. Ekpa, who claims to be the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic in exile, announced via his official social media handle. Reacting, Ekpa, who is known as the Prime Minister of Biafra in exile, in a statement posted on his official X handle today, urged officials of the Nigerian government to participate in the upcoming Biafra Convention in Finland. According to Ekpa, participating in the convention would allow the Nigerian officials to engage him in the debate regarding his move for Biafra liberation. He stressed that the constant call by the Nigerian government on the European Union and Finland to take action over his extradition confirms the legitimacy of the Biafra government in exile. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by two esteemed guests. Here in the studio, we have Mr. Peter Anosike. Mr. Anosike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He is also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. Great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Right, of course, joining us virtually is Mr. Dele Fanimo, a seasoned journalist with over 3 decades of experience. Mr. Fanimo is not only an administrator, but also a respected political affairs commentator and social critic. Welcome, gentlemen. It's great to have you once again with us.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
All right. I hope you have been able to get food these days. It's no longer as scarce as it used to be.
It's not that scarce, but the price is still on the high side.
Wow.
Between 850 and 970.
Wow, that's almost 1,000 there. All right. Let's go straight to the conversation. How significant is the announcement by Simon Ekpa about the Biafra map and declaration of 2nd December 2024 in terms of escalating the Biafra separatist movement And what are the potential implications for Nigeria's national security?
Simon Ekpa is suffering from delusion of grandeur. And unfortunately, some people are just queuing behind him without knowing exactly his problem. If you want to fight a cause, it is not the best approach to it. Now, people are dying in droves. Businesses are being affected in the Southeast. It started with a sit-at-home every Monday. You know the colossal loss of people not going to attend to their businesses on a Monday morning. And you know the number of people that have been killed. Unfortunately, this is a guy that recruited some other delusioned people to be fighting against his own people in the name of Biafra. There is nothing, you see, I have always said one thing. If elders in the Southeast, if they continue to tolerate this guy, you would think that he has everybody on his side. I think it is high time leaders of thought, elder statesmen from the Southeast began to tell these people, this boy and his foot soldiers, that enough of all these shenanigans. For God's sake, whatever it is, there is a sitting government. If you want self-determination, the best approach to it is to engage Nigerians from all divides, not that you now take up arms against the state. And you are a non-state actor, and you think that the state will fold its arms and begin to watch people engage in criminality without any response. I am sure that if the federal government pursue its extradition, it will be brought to this country very soon, and it will come and explain what it's doing over there, putting people on arm's way, in harm's way, while he's there enjoying himself. You see, when I said leaders of thought from the Southeast particularly should wade into all this, is that you saw the OPC and the self-determination group in Southwest. When they started, they thought everybody was in their support. But as soon as they came near the government house on a Saturday in Ibadan, you saw the way all political groups, all associations denounced them. And those who were arrested were prosecuted. They are still in prison. They still have a date with justice. Since then, have you heard of all these shenanigans? No. I think the best approach to it is let this guy know that he doesn't have right-thinking Nigerians, particularly elder statesmen and the likes of Harness Ndigbo behind him. Let them come out in the open and say enough is enough. We can't continue like this. You can't, Nigeria is too big for us to say you want to take up arms, to break up. How will you do that? It's better we come around to engage ourselves. If this association is no longer comfortable for all the components, then let's talk, let's resolve, and then go our separate ways peacefully. Several countries had done that in the past. The ones that took up arms, see what is going on. Southern Sudan. So what are we talking about? For me, I think it is high time Simon Ekpa was reined in.
All right, let's go to Mr. Anosike. Major General Edward Buba mentioned the federal government will use diplomatic channels. The likely challenges and chances of success for Nigeria in this diplomatic effort.
Even Jerry, to start with, I'm not happy the way you are praising a riffraff.
Who is praising a riffraff? Who is praising anybody?
That's what Simon Ekpa is, a riffraff, calling him and Prime Minister, the leader of Biafra in exile.
He's self-acclaimed.
These are the things that are making his head to this thing, to swell. He's a riffraff. For me, the government of Finland is not doing Nigeria any good. They should have, Nigerian government should have brought that guy back many years ago. Because what he is doing is a threat, even though for me, it is like when they say Igbo must go and campaign, whatever. I say it's just an empty noise. What Ekpa is doing is just an empty noise. He doesn't represent anybody. But because some youths are idle, he is making Ekpa has become the devil that is now giving a job to idle youths. No reasonable Nigeria, no reasonable Igbo man can side Ekpa. Even as I am now, I don't even know where his father's house is in Ebonyi State. I don't know where his father's house is. So saying that his prime minister, he's a non-entity, he's a shoe shiner. And the security of the country should hasten up and arrange this guy and bring him back to this country and dump him in Kuje prison. That is where he should be. Because all this declaring December 2nd is just noise. He has no capacity for anything. Even mentioning Simon Ekpa mentioning EU is just hyping him. He's nobody. Ekpa is nobody. Look at in 2007. I asked Ralph Zurike, the leader of Mossab,
yeah,
who started all these things. People don't know history. Understand me? People don't know history. In 1998, Chekwa Sokorie and Ralph Owazurike were Ojuku's foot soldiers. When Ojukwu formed the PDM, Ojukwu was living at Queen's Drive, Ikoyi then. So Chekwa Sokorie, who later formed ABGA, and Ralph Owazurike were Ojuku's foot soldiers. So 1998, they formed the Igbo Council of Chiefs. That's Igbo Council of Chiefs, which led to this Ezi Wolf here, and there. That's how that Igbo Council of Chiefs came about. It was formed by Ralph Owazurike and Chekwa Sokorie. So that 1998, Owazurike embezzled their 380,000 naira. In 1998, Owazurike embezzled their 380,000 naira and they expelled him. Owazurike has no job again. He has nothing again to do. He decided that to form another association. He said that he will now form this group entirely on himself so that nobody can expel him. That was how Mossab came into being. Mossab was formed at Nwachukwu Drive at Okota in 1999. Understand? So from there, he began to operate. Then there wasn't, internet wasn't so much. When he saw anything bad happen to the Igbos, he will cut it. He will cut that newspaper and fax it to the Igbos abroad. That see what is happening. That Igbos are being killed. Igbos are being marginalized. They were sending money to him. In 2007, he said that Biafra would come into being in 2007. That as he took the children of Israel 40 years to get to the promised land, that from 1967, when all the war started, Biafra was started, and 2007 was 40 years, that Biafra is going to come in 2007. So I asked him, Chief, if Biafra come now, what will you do? Will you go to Dogna's house or whatever, which is the government house or whatever, and the governor Chike Udenwa will vacate for you? Or will you go to Enugu, the capital of eastern Nigeria, and Chimaroke Nnaman will vacate the government house for you, and you begin that to run as a president of Biafra? For me, I know that it is a scam. I know that it is a scam. From there, because Owazike was a stingy man, the money was not getting to everybody. Nnamdi Kanu broke away and formed IPOB. Understand me?
Was it all about what they were going to get financially or personally?
Nnamdi Kanu broke away and formed IPOB. Okay. What a lot of people don't know, when Nyanwodo was the president of Ohanese, Imapawafo wanted to break away and form his own association. Understand me? They have to compel him not to do it. Because he felt that Kanu is becoming too rich and nothing substantial is getting to him. Imapawafo is the spokesperson of IPOB. Understand me? So when Nnamdi Kanu was incarcerated, nobody to occupy that space. That's a vacuum. A tout like Simon Ekpa decided that to fill in that space. They have no substance anywhere.
All right. Given that Simon Ekpa has invited Nigerian officials to participate in the upcoming Biafra convention in Finland, how might this move?
He don't even have capacity to invite NANS, National Association of Nigeria students.
All right, but if you take a look at it, going to Mr. Dele Fanimo, it looks somehow, some way that in spite of the way you want to see it or look at it, it seems they are gathering lots of momentum on social media, for instance, and the fact that they begin to generate a lot of attention. For instance, recently, I know the issues of insecurity in the East has become a big problem, where people are kidnapped daily. And of course, if they are saying that they are fighting against Nigeria, for instance, information coming out from the East, for instance, has it that headsmen are kidnapping Igbos in the East with the support of some Igbos or some so-called unknown gunmen. So if they say that they are fighting against Nigeria, how come these unknown gunmen, when they become hungry, they start kidnapping fellow Igbos or Biafrans, if you want to put it in that way, and you are out there in Finland and you are saying that they should sit at home on Monday and go hungry, and these youths who have weapons decided to work with these so-called people, you say that they are not part of you to kidnap innocent people and collect ransom. So who is on the right path towards will I say, whatever they are fighting for?
The truth about it is, don't put makeup on the face of a criminal to make him an agitator. These guys are criminal, pure and simple. They are criminals. When they are broke, they kidnap for ransom and they go and spend the money. So, is that how to agitate? When kidnapping started in this country, in the Niger Delta region, not meant for ransom. They were using it to make a statement that you white men vacate our land. Enough of pollution, enough of marginalization. As soon as other tribes got hold of this, they turned it to business. And today, show me a part of this country where there is no kidnapping. Is it in the northwest? Is it in the northeast or middle belt or north central? Is it even in the southwest? Even in southeast? So these are a bunch of criminals that are jobless, and they just found a space where they can carry out their nefarious activities, and they are kidnapping. How many people were kidnapped to say, okay, this is the reason why we are kidnapping is they have incarcerated Nnamdi Kanu, releasing Nnamdi Kanu will release our captives? No. It is, we have kidnapped so person, bring. Do you know that the number of people that are kidnapped daily is much more than the ones that are reported in the media? There was a time that we got news that some people were kidnapped, were laying corpses inside coffins and kidnapping such coffins so that the owner of the person, the dead person who wants to bury the corpse on Saturday would pay to get the corpse back, because there cannot be any ceremony without laying the corpse to rest. So what we are saying is, let's not glamorize these people. Let government clamp down on them so that Southeast can have their deserved rest. When they tried it in the Southwest, we told them that, look, nobody sent you on this kind of errand. You cannot come and take over government house. And they even went on a Saturday when the governor was not on seat, when the speaker was not on seat, nobody was in the secretariat, and they said they want to take over government. Is that how to take over government? Bunch of criminal illiterates. So let's not glamorize this Simon Ekpa and his group. They are a bunch of criminals, and they should be treated as criminals. And government should ensure that they are decisively dealt with. Most people that you see, it is only when you arrested them. I remember there was a time I went to Ekiti when I was at the radio station. I went on a mission to investigate a story. I went to the police headquarters. They showed me Ekiti indigenes that were dressed in robes like Fulani, that were kidnapping Ekiti people. But when you see them from afar, you say, Fulani people have come to kidnap. What makes you think that the ones they call Fulanis in Southeast are real Fulanis and not Southeasterners or even Southwesterners in collusion with Southeasterners, kidnapping their kinsmen and saying that they are Fulani that are kidnapping them? How many of the kidnapped victims had shown us that these people are Fulani? So let's not glamorize it. Let's not deodorize it. They are criminals, and they should be treated as criminals, pure and simple. Let Simon Ekpa be brought to Nigeria. Let him come and face treason. And then others will know that you can't be above government. We can't, this is not the way to split this country, even if you want to split this country. So tomorrow now, I will say I don't know Peter Anosike because he's from the Southeast, or he will see me and say he doesn't know me again. You know how many intermarriages that have happened in this country among all the tribes in this country? And then you come and you stay in Finland and come and be sending instructions to people in Nigeria. Why don't you come home and come and face the heat yourself? I'm just praying that this guy will be caught and brought to book.
Are rising, but taking a look at the way the government has been handling this matter, do you think they're handling it in the best way possible? And do you foresee any solution to this issue?
Well, government is using diplomatic channels, which is what it should be, which is what it's supposed to be, using a diplomatic channel, because instead of abduction through kidnapped, the, the way Nnamdi Kanu was brought into this country, which is what Buhari government specialized in. Mind you, they did the same thing in 1984 to Alhaji Umaru Dikko, who was the Minister of Transport then. They kidnapped him with the help of Mossad agents, understand? And wanted that to bring him down that to the country. But he said, but a woman who saw what happened alerted that the British government, and that's why they couldn't bring him down here
to Nigeria.
So government is using a diplomatic channel, and the diplomatic wheel doesn't run fast. Understand? But the Finnish government is supposed to have put him in check by now, knowing that Nigeria government is not happy with what he's doing, knowing that he's a threat to Nigerian government. So still giving him that space to be using social media, to be tweeting all this nonsense, it simply shows that the Finnish government is not showing respect to Nigeria as a country. And I don't think if a Finnish government will be happy if a Finnish man is in Nigeria and doing that kind of a thing.
All right, definitely. What will happen December 2nd?
Nothing will happen.
Okay.
Nothing will happen December 7th, December 2nd. These guys are criminal elements. Understand? If you are a freedom fighter, you don't take a ransom.
Okay.
You don't take, you kidnap, keep them. If my demands are met, I will release these people. Understand me? So taking a ransom, kidnapping for money makes it that's an enterprise.
So you say they are raising funds?
Raising which funds?
Funds for personal use of.
They are making money for themselves. It's not armed robbers going to the bank that's and stealing. So these people are criminal elements. I cannot wait for that guy to get back to this country.
All right, what about in relation to Nnamdi Kanu, who's still being incarcerated, and all of this matter? And we also hear that some of the group have been calling that he should be released.
What Simon Ekpa is doing has no relationship with Nnamdi Kanu being in detention. Simon Ekpa is not fighting for Nnamdi Kanu. Understand? If Simon Ekpa is fighting for Nnamdi Kanu, it should have been, we have kidnapped 100 Nigerians, release Nnamdi Kanu, and we will release these people. That is how it is done. You don't begin that to take money. This is criminal elements. That's not. This is their own Yahoo. Understand? So they're not fighting for Nnamdi Kanu. But since Nnamdi Kanu don't have cases to answer, Simon Ekpa will have cases to answer. Because when they murdered the 7 soldiers in Aba, he claimed responsibility. When they killed the 4 soldiers in Enugu State, 4 policemen, he claimed the responsibility. So he should be brought to court to answer for those things.
All right. What about the Monday movement stay at home and the way that it's been followed? Because for now, you cannot travel to the East on Mondays. You can't do business in the East on Mondays. Can you say that's been an effective way of disruption, or
no,
taking a look at the way it's been followed? Okay.
It shows a weakness on the part of the governors. It shows a weakness on the part of the state governors because a non-state actors are now detecting what happens in the Southeast. It means that the non-state actors it means that the people trust those non-state actors than the government. Because if governors say, come out and go about your business, and the one criminal say, don't come out, and they stayed, it means that they have more trust on the criminal than on the governor. So it is a sign of weakness on the part of those governors in the Southeast.
All right, we have somebody calling to join the conversation. Please, can you tell us your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is Prince. I'm calling from UK.
All right, would you I would like you to make it very brief. 1 minute, all right?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to start by saying I listened to the last caller, which is Dele Faniwo. I'm a Yoruba man, and me looking at his name, I know he's a Yoruba man too. We should call a spade a spade. You tell them to leave, you don't want to see them. I mean the Igbos. They said they want to leave. You don't want them to go. So what do you expect them to do? So I wish that Dele can go to Finland and speak to him and said, you are creating problem in Nigeria, and say whether they will not batter the Z. And looking at the man right in front of you, an Igbo man that cannot even call a spade by saying you have been marginalized for so long that this is a time for you to stand and create your own, country. Imagine, sometimes it's very painful. I'm not going to say because I'm a Yoruba man I should support bad things. No, these things are bad. They've been marginalized for so long. If they want to go, the government should allow them to go.
All right.
I'm so disappointed in the man sitting right in front of you saying different things that sometimes people will listen to, and people will begin to imagine, is there an Igbo man? Is it this?
All right, thank
you so much. Thank you so much.
All right,
thank you
very much, so that we can allow others who want to call in and say one or two things to do so. And of course, if you're calling in, please try as much as possible to be civil, and of course, try as much as possible to keep it simple as much as possible and quickly. Let's go to the next conversation. We should address this. Okay, you want to address the situation? Okay, go ahead.
One, I'm an Igbo man. And if there's reincarnation, I still want to reincarnate as an Igbo man. Simon Ekpa is a criminal. He's not representing the Igbo interest. If we want a separation, he has no capacity. This is not the way it should be. So whoever is supporting him, well, everybody's entitled to his or her own opinion. Whoever is supporting Simon Ekpa is against Igbo interest. Because Igbo people, no Igbo man will go and set the market on fire. But these are the criminal elements that Simon Ekpa has recruited. This is what they are doing. This is not the way, if we want Biafra, this is not the way it should come.
All right, okay. And still taking calls and more conversations. Of course, the social media is boiling up, a lot of unprintable comments. And of course, we want to advise that you try as much as possible to keep it civil, because definitely in everything you do, definitely you have to apply wisdom. All right, let's go back to the next conversation, where the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections, Peter Obi, has called for a decisive action against insecurity that has enveloped the country and not the usual empty rhetoric. The former Anambra State governor, who stated this in a statement issued on Wednesday in reaction to the alleged abduction of 150 innocent people and stealing of 1,000 cattle in Sokoto community after the brutal murder of Emir of Gobrel, emphasized that Nigeria is now at the mercy of terrorist bandits under an ineffective government. Obi described the situation as a tipping point in the decline of a failing state. He regretted that Nigerians are now at the mercy of terrorists and bandits with a nearly ineffective government to protect them. I also saw a video of talking about people in Sokoto entering the forest and saying that they were going to fight those bandits. And Mr. Dele Fanimo, definitely, I know you will want to react to the last comment, but let's just go straight to this conversation where Peter Obi has criticized the government's response to recent security issues. What specific actions does he propose to address the current insecurity in Nigeria? What do you propose? Because it looks like these bandits have gone and reinforced. I also saw a video where they have been displaying ransom money they've collected. They are recruiting a lot of people. And of course, a lot of people were killed in Zamfara just recently. And they say they are going to take over Nigeria starting from Zamfara. This is another big issue facing the country from the north.
For me, Mr. Peter Obi is not saying anything new. We all know that in the last 13 years, we have been battling with insecurity in this country. And one of the reasons why some people supported the former president, Buhari, was that because he was a military head of state and he had also been engaged in fighting terrorism in the past, in Niger, Chad axis. You know, so we assumed that he was going to have a magic wand to repel these people. But unfortunately, it escalated during his period. Now, when these service chiefs came, they promised us that we are going to have respite. Unfortunately, just when we were counting our gains, these people just resurrected from nowhere and they have started to up their game, particularly in the northeast and northwest. In fact, the latest is the onslaught around the northwestern part of the country, where they kill, maim, and destroy. Unfortunately, the military is fighting too many battles at the same time. And that's not an excuse entirely, but when you have to fight terrorists in the northeast, fight bandits in the northwest, fight IPOB, ECN in the northeast, fight herdsmen in the north central, and then you have pockets of kidnappers that are holding people to ransom and collecting money in the southwest, then that means the whole country is at the mercy of criminal elements. And why is this so? Because there is social dislocation. Now, people don't have jobs. People can't feed. Children of the poor are going hungry by the day. And today, according to UN reports, over 87 million Nigerians are below poverty line. That means almost 46% of Nigerians go to bed with empty stomach. That would definitely precipitate social dislocation in the country. And so any of these groups, either as terrorists, as bandits, as kidnappers, they have ready-made disciples, a pool of young people, youth that they can harvest from to populate their rank. And these are people that they don't even have any option other than to sometimes kill behind these people. Because you imagine somebody who is not able to feed himself and then goes to a kidnapper, join a kidnapping gang, and makes some substantial money where he can send to the wife and children. Most of these people, when they catch them, you see them talking about, I have one wife, I have two wives, I have 4 children, I have 3 children. I send the last time I made some money, 10,000 naira, I sent to my wife, and all that and all that. So you see that there is social dislocation as a result of inequality, injustice, and corruption in the system. And as long as we don't take away this,
all right, Mr. Dele Fanimo,
system,
we would like to take another call. Before we go back to you, hope you don't mind.
No.
All right, let's take another call. Hello. Hello. You're welcome. You're welcome to the issues. You're welcome to the issues on Voice of the People.
Thank you. Good morning from here. My name is James, calling from South Korea.
All right. Please, can you keep it simple and, of course, 1 minute?
Yeah,
All right.
just 1 minute. Even 1 minute. 1 minute is too much.
All right.
And thank God, at last, when we people are talking about, I'll bring the issue of Samuel Ekpa. Yes, it's not everyone who will support what Samuel Ekpa is doing, but he's doing his things and his own way, like I believe. And your guess, his last word is everyone is opinion, start of his own opinion. And thank God everything he's saying there in that studio is started of his own opinion. Donc everybody have right for his own opinion because of not attacking any callers. It's not everyone is supporting someone, but we're supposed to have someone who will stand for someone, some people. This is what someone stand for. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much for being a part of the show this evening. Of course, everyone is definitely not entitled to the opinion. And because of time, let me go back to Mr. Nosike. It looks like the uprising from the north is started again from Zamfara, and Sokoto is boiling at the moment. 150 people were kidnapped, 1,000 cattle were rustled. The people have entered into the forest and they are going to take laws into their hands. What is going on?
With empty hands.
Yeah, with empty hands. That's
So
desperation.
for me, it's a sign of failing government, because the number one responsibility of any government is the protection of life and property of the people. That's the number one responsibility of any government. And any government that is unable to do this is not worth to be called a government. So the Buhari administration failed on this, and Tinubu government is failing on this. They have not been able to protect the lives and properties of the people. Then number two is then to take care of the welfare of the people. The Buhari government has also, the Tinubu government has also failed on this. I have seen in social media where terrorists were giving money to the citizens. Understand me? Where terrorists, bandits, we are giving money to the citizens. So, which means what government cannot do, these criminal elements are now doing it.
All right, Mr. Nosike, we have another caller, so that we can use this to wrap up the show because we are pressed for time. All right, your final caller today. What's your name and where you're calling from? And keep it simple. 1 minute, please.
I'm Mr. Austin.
Okay.
I'm calling from United States of America.
All right.
I want to debunk what that guy in the television is talking about, Simon Ekpa.
All
right. Please, I want to ask that man, how much is exchange in 1983? Nigeria is second highest economy in the whole world in 1983. The exchange is 55 kobo to $1. What is exchange today? People are sourcing money and sharing the money. This man was here talking nonsense for somebody who is agitating, who is against this money they were eating. What is exchange today? As against 55 kobo to $1. So when we start talking something, let us check past. The man is talking rubbish. Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you so much.
Keep it civil, please. All right, Mr. Nosike, would like to wrap up. What's your final take?
I say government should invest seriously on to reduce this insecurity, because we cannot go anywhere with what is happening in the country now. Where there's no peace, there can never be development in security. so that at least farmers will go back to the farms.
The election.
All right, let's go over to Mr. Dele Fanimo. We'd like to take your parting shot before we go because we are pressed for time.
I think killing bandits may not solve this problem. There should be a solution to these problems by creating employment, creating conducive environment, and ensuring that there is no disconnect between the government and the governed. At that point, people will begin to drop arms and then get some other things to engage themselves with. That is the major solution to it. Because how many criminals are you going to kill?
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Dele Fanimo. It's always a pleasure having you on the issues. And, of course, hope to have you subsequently when we'll come back tomorrow for another beautiful edition of the issues.
Good night. Enjoy your evening.
All right. You too. And, of course, Mr. Enoski, it's always a pleasure having you as well.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. I want to also thank those who were able to call in and join us from all over the world talking about the Nigerians in diaspora. And of course, it shows they are showing interest in what's happening.
Including the idiot that said I'm talking rubbish.
All right. Mr. Enoski, you have to keep it civil as well because definitely you're in the studio with us. And definitely as journalists, we're trying to, as much as possible, to keep this thing civil. Definitely, we're all fighting for one interest and looking forward to the interest of a better world. And definitely this edition of the issues, we thank you for joining us. Catch us again tomorrow at the same time on our YouTube channel, Voice of the People TV. Stay connected with us on our other social media platforms at VOP TV Live. I am your host, Jerry RPI. Good evening.
The bar gwadalo din neno ka ifi nwere ike ikwu gbasata maka ya bụ ife enu gasị n'elu akwụkwọ ọzọ dị ka ibe ya bụ cheta na ya bụ Eastern News 24 ka esi wee na-wetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasata maka ya bụ ife na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya anụ nwere onwe ndị Igbo na-azọ ọ na-anụgo ka o si ada na-akpọtụ ihe mma na Chineke ga-enye anyị mmeri ise. Thank you so much for joining us and remember that this is Eastern News 24 bụ ebe si na-wetara ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa emesịa n'ụmụnne m.